When we studied functions f from R to R, the continuity of f was closely related with the concept of limits. More precisely, we said that a function f is continuous at a point a if and only if limit x tends to a f of x is equal to f of a. Now, so far we have not defined the concept of a limit for a function f from Rn to Rm. But we already saw how we can express the intuitive idea that f of x gets arbitrarily close to a particular value as x is sufficiently close to a. And this is exactly what we require to define limits. So we may say that L is a limit of f at a if for every epsilon greater than 0, we can find a delta greater than 0 such that norm of x minus a is less than delta implies that norm of f of x minus f of a is less than epsilon. As soon as we define limits, we can prove that whenever limit exists, it has to be unique. The basic idea in the proof is that we assume that L1 and L2 are two limits and then show that L1 has to be equal to L2 using triangle inequality. As we have seen this idea many times, we are not going to prove it again. I leave it as an exercise. Now this unique limit will be denoted by the symbol limit x tends to a f of x. Now the desired or expected results that limits satisfy can mostly be proved by mimicking what we did when we studied continuity. However, we will take a slightly different approach. We will first state the sequential criterion and use the sequential criterion to prove all the other results. The proof of the sequential criterion is exactly analogous to the sequential criterion for continuity. Therefore, we are not going to prove it. We will just state it rigorously. So let us see how we can state the sequential criterion in this different setting, slightly different setting. The theorem says that limit x tends to a f of x is equal to L if and only if given any sequence xn that converges to a, f of xn converges to L. As soon as we have this theorem, we can prove most other results using this theorem. First, we will prove that as we expected, we can show that f is continuous at a point a if and only if limit x tends to a f of x is equal to f of a. As we mentioned, we are going to prove this using the sequential criterion. So recall that a function f is continuous at a point a if and only if for every sequence xn that converges to a, f of xn converges to f of a. This was the sequential criterion for continuity. But we saw earlier that given any sequence xn converging to a, f of xn converges to f of a is equivalent to saying that limit x tends to a, f of x is equal to f of a. We are just using the theorem that we stated before this. So because of this, we see that f is continuous at a if and only if limit x tends to a, f of x is equal to f of a. We proved earlier that the sum of two continuous functions is continuous. Mimicking that proof, we can show that the limit of sum of two functions is equal to sum of their limits. However, we are not going to take that approach right now. But I encourage you to work it out yourself. Instead, we are going to use sequential criterion to show that the limit of sum of two functions is equal to sum of their limit. And this approach can also be used to show that the sum of two continuous functions is continuous. And once again, I leave that as an exercise. Before we go to the proof, let us look at the statement clearly. If f1 and f2 are two functions from Rn to Rm such that limit x tends to a f1 of x is equal to L1 and limit x tends to a f2 of x is equal to L2, then limit x tends to a f1 plus f2 of x exists and is equal to L1 plus L2. Now let us turn to the proof. By sequential criterion, we know that limit x tends to a, fi of x is equal to li if and only if given any sequence xn that converges to a, fi of xn converges to li. Now, take a sequence xn that converges to a. Then let us see what happens to f1 plus f2 of xn. From the definition of f1 plus f2, f1 plus f2 of xn is equal to f1 of xn plus f2 of xn. But notice that f1 of xn converges to L1 and f2 of xn converges to L2. Therefore, f1 of xn plus f2 of xn converges to L1 plus L2. But xn was an arbitrary sequence converging to A, and for this sequence, f1 plus f2 of xn converges to L1 plus L2. Thus, by sequential criterion, we see that limit x tends to a, f1 plus f2 of x is equal to L1 plus L2. Under similar circumstances, we can also show that limit x tends to a, f1 f2 of x exists and is equal to L1 into L2. The proof is absolutely analogous, and therefore I am going to leave it as a homework. Finally, let us see how we can understand the limit of f in terms of the limit of its component functions. We can prove that limit x tends to a, f of x exists if and only if limit x tends to a, fi of x exists for all I, where fi is nothing but pi I composed with f. Moreover, when all these limits exist, we can show that limit x tends to a, f of x is equal to limit x tends to a, f1 of x, comma limit x tends to a, f2 of x, comma etc. up to limit x tends to a, fm of x. As before, the proof is a simple application of sequential criterion, and we will just sketch the idea behind it. Suppose xn is an arbitrary sequence that converges to A. Then notice that f of xn converges to L if and only if fi of xn converges to Li for all I. Here Li is the ith coordinate of L. And as soon as we have that, by applying sequential criterion to f and fi, you will get the result. And I leave it up to you to complete the proof rigorously.